Good evening, guys. And we are not too far away now from the end of the event one for Q School. It finishes on Tuesday, so the penultimate day is tomorrow. I'm going to give you sort of a recap of who's left, the ones I put up to qualify. I've got 7 players left. Starting off with Sean Harvey. He plays Sanderson Lamb tomorrow. Using about 11 to 8 shot. I think he's got a very good chance. Don't think the price is that great, but if you can get through against Sanderson Lamb tomorrow, I really, like I put in my preview, he'll have a real squeak of making Tuesday, hopefully. David Donovan plays tomorrow as well. He's got Vahedi from Iran. As I put in my vlog yesterday, he's got a good squeak in that match. Vahedi's a funny player. You never know what you're going to get with him. If Donovan can be solid, like he was against Joe Howe, and you'll have half a chance. Hamid Meyer got through today 4-2 against Joe Fenton. He faces James Cahill next. Again, if you can just get through that round, the passage is looking better for him. He's a 7-4 shot tomorrow. I think that's a good price. Thought he'd be a little bit shorter. Fraser Patrick came through well earlier. It was a real dour contest. It was. I've been at work since 2 o'clock. I think that match must have started about 5 o'clock. Anyway, he got through and faces the guy who beat Tony Knowles, Raymond Fry. He came back from 3-1 down. I quite fancy Fraser there. Dwayne Jones has got Alfie Burden. That's an absolute pick'em. Burden played really well from what I saw earlier. Again, that's a big match because I think the winner will really fancy the chances. David Lilly's looking really solid. He's got Paul Davis. A bit of a surprise he's come through, but Lilly won 4-0 against Paul Davison. He's a similar sort of player. I think Paul Davis, I quite fancy Lilly, and he's in that section with Michael White and Peter Lines. So David Lilly looks like he's on a roll since his World Seniors win. The last one is John Astley. He's playing Ross Mew, who's been in really good form in the horrible Section 4. That's a 3-time match to call that. I wouldn't discount Astley for a second. We're in a reasonable position. Most of my sort of bigger prices have gone. So I'm going to go over a few prices that took my fancy tomorrow. I mentioned Peter Lines is playing Michael White, and this is I think the winner of this match is very likely to play in one of the last few matches on Tuesday to make the main tour. I really wouldn't discount Peter Lines here. He's a 2-1 shot. I think that's a little bit of value. He played Michael White in the 2019 Welsh Open and beat him 4-2. I think he'll be really up for this White. I respect. I think Lines will be really up for it. I think the bookies have overreacted a little bit on Michael White. Yeah, he's about 4-11 shots. It's very, very short in this best of 7. Yeah, I think Lines is worth a little squeak in that match. One of the others I liked was Mitchell Mann. He's 13-10 with William Hill to beat Eden Sharav. They've only played once before, and Mitchell won that match last season on the main tour. Mitchell won 33% of his matches in the season, more than Sharav did. I think it could easily have been 5 to 6 apiece, these two. I don't think there's a lot in it. Mann's a little bit more consistent, I feel. Obviously, if Sharav gets on a roll, he's he can sort of free roll. But yeah, I think 13 to 10 on Mitchell is a bit of value. Then we go on to my my main selection tomorrow. I would probably say this is my strongest fancy of the whole of Q School so far. I mean, if I was doing like points advised, I'd be sort of doing 2.5 to 3 point on this one. And it's Daniel Womersley to beat Ryan Davis. Ryan Davis, firstly, he played in the shootout in 2019 on the TV and got to the last 16 and lost to Michael Holt. He hasn't done a fat lot in Q Score in the last couple of years. And a lot of people thought he was like a new Judd Trump a couple of years ago. He got to the last 32 in one of the Q School events last year, and he lost in the first round in the other two. So I can't understand why he was put up by Bet365 as a favourite in this match. Womersley, I personally think he's a much better player. His results have shown that. I asked Snooker Judge, who a lot of people will know as the Ladbrokes odds compiler, how he would price it. I thought Womersley would be about a 4 to 7 shot. He actually thought Womersley would be a 4 to 9 shot, so he certainly fancies it too. Last season, Womersley played in quite a few events. In the Pro Series, he beat Sohail Vahedi, he beat Sharav. In the Championship League, he beat Michael Holt. Last year at Q School, he lost in the last 16. And on the way, he beat Jamie Wilson, who is on the main tour. He actually qualified in one of the events last year. Eventually, he lost to Stephen Hallworth. But, I've looked over his results, and he's had some really solid wins. I mean, as I say, on the way to getting to the last 16 last year, he also beat a few yardsticks with a very sort of similar sort of standard to Ryan Davis. So, yeah, I think, he was 10 to 11. He's been trimmed a little bit to 4 to 5. I think 4 to 5 is a cracking price still. As I say, I would make him more like a 4 to 7 shot here. And furthermore than that, I speak to Craig Edwards Tips on Twitter quite a lot. Before the Q School started, he sent me a little bit of information from Daniel Womersley's coach. It's a guy called Ian Williamson. He's from up north, and he said that Womersley is playing really, really well in practice. And in his first round win, he knocked in a couple of breaks over 50 as well. I think one was an 85. So, yeah, I mean, as I say, I think without a doubt that's my best bet of the whole of Q School so far. Daniel Womersley, yeah, he was 10 to 11 when I put him up on Twitter to beat Ryan Davis. And anyway, and if you wanted another couple of goes, Mitchell Mann 13 to 10 on William Hill to beat Eden Sharav, and I would not put it past Peter Lyons, canny so-and-so that he is, to take out Michael White possibly tomorrow. Thanks very much for listening, and hopefully you'll be back tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Bye.